Once you sign, how much, if you're allowed to tell us, how much do you think you're going to be getting, or what will be like your sweet spot?
I won't say exactly who. This is exactly what they made on their pro debut, but I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to release their information. Um, but he made. I'm following his tracks, like completely following his tracks. So it's looking like it'll be somewhere along these lines. But he got I think a 3 to 5 contract deal with Combate Global, 70 grand.
Gabe, thanks so much for coming, man. Really appreciate the support to the Moneymalistic channel. How's your day going?
My day's going good, and I have you.
Pretty good, man. So happy to be here with you. Now, how old are you?
25 years old. 25 million.
Oh, nice. And where are you from originally?
From Arizona, Tucson, Arizona.
Terrific. Native,
Been
then.
on a little bit, yep. This came back to where we're from.
Oh, nice. So you got to move around a little bit?
Yeah, we moved around when I was 4 years old, moved to Ohio. I went to Colorado for a little bit, then to Georgia. And then by the time I was, I think, 7 years old, so about second grade, I moved back here. So we've been here for many years now.
Wow. Out of all the states, would you consider this one your favorite one? Or
Absolutely. I think that's because of family, though. You know, I wanted to come back to the family. I love traveling. I've been to a lot of different states, but I love green. But I mean, there's green here, and you go to Madera County, Mount Lemmon, or just northern Arizona. But yeah, Arizona is definitely my favorite. I like the heat. I get sick way less.
wow.
Shit.
Is there anything else that you would consider your favorite thing? That was my next question, but I know we got a little ahead of it.
That's a tricky question. Favorite thing? I think my first answer would definitely be like I have to say God and then family. But talking about besides that, MMA for sure. It's martial arts.
Yeah, man. Now, what do you do for a living?
For a living, my financial base is I work at Costco. Full time or part time, but I work full time hours and then mixed martial arts. I'm an amateur right now, but starting to make some money. And then once I sign pro, that'll hopefully be my financial base, and I won't work at Costco anymore.
Perfect. How long have you been doing Costco and the MMA for?
Costco's going to be 3 years in October. It's crazy, time flies. And MMA, I've been competing for about 2 years now, a little less than 2 years, but been doing martial arts my whole life. Started wrestling around the end of middle school, been fighting and getting in trouble ever since I was born. But competitively wrestling freshman year of high school, and then competitively amateur boxing. I think when I was 18 is when I started that. And then jiu-jitsu, I actually just had my first competition about a month back.
Wow.
So that was pretty exciting. I wish I would have started that a long time ago, but there's a first for everything.
Hey, the thing is that you're starting and you're doing it. So that's the most important thing.
My hardest, man. Yeah, thank you.
So now, going back to your Costco job, what is your favorite thing about it?
Favorite thing about Costco? Honestly, I have a lot of good things to say about it. I'd say my favorite thing is their flexibility. Yeah, that'd be my number one favorite thing because they're able to work with MMA. I decided that MMA, like, I'm doing it 100% and like no doubt. So it's just like I decided that whatever job I worked, I had to work with MMA, and if it didn't, then I had to leave the job. And luckily, Costco fit.
Wow. Good.
Thank God.
A lot of people love Costco, including myself. You know, we all shop there. Is there anything that you don't like as much?
I mean, just like any job, management sometimes it's just like management is hard to deal with, but I'm still grateful for them. When I started out, I got used to those managers, and in the 3 years, I've seen the managers completely change.
Oh.
So that was difficult just to change because when human beings only get used to something, it's hard to change. But no, I'm still grateful. Got a clean record there, and it seems like people like me. So,
you have any Costco hacks? You get to shop early, right? Sometimes or not?
Actually, no, or not shop early, but once the store's closed, we can still shop. We get a free membership, and then we get free, I think it's 3 memberships to give to anybody. It's supposed to be in our household, but sometimes, depending on who sets it up for you, you could do like, I have my girlfriend's mom. She doesn't live in our household, but I have her under our membership. That's free, $120. It's an executive membership, so she doesn't have to pay that $120 for the year. But also, if you shop enough, you should get that 120 back in rewards. It's tricky stuff, but it's nice. I like it there.
Oh yeah, I'd say.
It's the health insurance that has me, man. The health insurance, Aetna is what the health insurance is through. They pay good too. I'm happy with the pay, but the health insurance, I couldn't find a better health insurance with any other company. And for mixed martial arts, I need a good health insurance.
Definitely. I mean, maybe not so much because I mean you've had really really good fights. You know.
So far, so good. I did in my second fight getting busted open, and I made a mistake. Should have got stitches. They'll stitch you up right after in the back, and they'll take care of your medical needs up to, I think it's like 21 grand,
Oh wow.
which is nice, but it's for that night. So you got to make sure and get like covered that night. And I had just won, so I just wanted to see my family. So I'm in the back, and the doctor's like, I can stitch you up. And I was like, honestly, my whole life, I haven't really done stitches. I've done stitches for like 5 or 6 things, but usually super glue. Like when I get busted open, I'll pinch it shut and then I'll super glue it. And there's also a thing called liquid bandage.
Yeah.
Anyways, I decided I'll just do that. Well, as you can see the scar, I should have got stitches because, yeah, but it's all good.
You could just keep it as like a memory, something that you'll learn from.
I just not get hit next time.
No, man. I mean, it's part of it.
Yeah, but it
Yes. Now, what social class were you growing up?
Social class growing up, I think I was, or I know I was, it was above middle average, to be honest, well off.
Well,
I'd say I was privileged and blessed, I'd say. My dad, that's also a tricky question. I'll tell you where I was born. I was born, the house growing up, it was on Country Club in Tucson Boulevard. Or actually, sorry, no, those are both around adjacent. Country Club and Aviation Highway.
Okay.
And so that's like the hood. So when I was born, we were like more growing up in poverty, but it was nice because I just saw my parents really kind of develop and grow as human beings. And I mean, my dad worked at UPS when I was born, and he was getting his master's degree at the U of A, engineering degree. And then by the time we moved back to Arizona when I was 7 years old, we only moved around for a couple of years, but when we moved back to Arizona, he got a job with Raytheon. And then we moved to Rancho, and then everything. But that's when I'd say we were above middle average. We're doing well off.
wow. That is crazy, man. That is amazing. You actually got to see your parents go from a low level to mid to middle high.
Exactly. Oh, it was great to see.
Now,
What a good example.
oh, definitely. Were there any challenges growing up that you remember early on?
Yeah, to be honest, early on. So, what I can recollect, just 3 years old, 4 years old ish. Yeah, I mean, not too bad, but my parents were just, I'd say struggling, which, I mean, I had nothing to do with it, and I couldn't really help out too much at that age, but just seeing, but that was like when I was born, and then, like, it so much changed, because then we moved to Ohio first, or actually it was Colorado first, and then Ohio. And I mean, nothing against race, but like in Ohio, me and my sister were like the only Mexicans over there. It was just different. Everything was just different, And then my dad started getting better jobs. He went from UPS to a job called John's Manfield. And I honestly don't even know exactly what they did, but I just remember we went from the house that we had, which I'd say wasn't the nicest, but I mean, when I was a baby, it was nice to me. And then in Ohio, it was a 2-story house, so it was just way different, But yeah, and then it's crazy because when we moved to Georgia, it was for John's Matfield. The plantation, it burned down. The company, literally the building burned down. He was inside of the fire. He had to get out, and that's when he applied to Raytown. Everything the stars kind of aligned for us to move back home.
It was meant to happen then.
It was meant to happen.
Now, would your family talk about money in general?
To be honest, yeah, a lot. My dad always had this, or there was always this funny joke about my dad when he was like 3 years old or 4 years old. My nana was his mom had him and his brothers outside picking weeds, and he looked up at her and he said, "I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna become rich one day, and I'll be able to pay somebody to do this." he was always kind of frugal with his money, which was good. So he would never pay people to do that for him or ever pay for like any maids or butlers or anything like that. We weren't well off like that. So he had me and my sister. We were his meat pickers. But he also helped us. He would just, like maybe a little, not allowance, but maybe like $5 for like picking weeds just to help us try to like learn the value of money, And then he would make us save for birthdays and stuff like that. And yeah, he tried to instill good morals and ethics when it came to money.
Nice, that's good. Was there anything else that you learned from your dad?
And my mom also, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That's my dad. My mom's the one that made me start a Roth IRA. Okay. She's the one like
what age did you start your Roth IRA?
Started the Roth IRA at 16, which I'm very happy that I did that, but also I neglected it for a couple of years also, which I mean, I'm still happy with how much I'll have in it, calculated to I think what we'll talk about 59 years old is when you get to take it out, right?
Around 59 and a half.
So when I'm 59, I should be taken care of with that money, but it'd be a lot nicer. I forget exactly what story it is, but I had a financial literacy class I think it was financial ed. It was just to teach us finances, they help us out finances, junior year of high school. And one of the examples was there was two friends. One started a Roth IRA. I don't think it was exactly a Roth IRA. I think it was just like an investment fund was the example in the story. When he first started investing at 16 to 27, I think he put like $1,000 in every maybe 3 months or 5 months. And the other friend started at like 23. And that friend did it from 23 to like 40. And this friend only did it from 16 to 27. And because of compound interest, the friend that started at 16 years old had more money in it. By the time they were 59 years old, I think this one had like 3 mil at like a 3% interest, or maybe that was like 7% interest. And the friend that started at 23, he had like, I think it was like 350K. Yeah. Because of compound interest. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, age 16, starting a Roth IRA, that was definitely a smart move. And I mean, that was set up pretty much for you, plus your financial literacy class. So I think that was one of the best things that you could have ever done,
Yeah, it's interesting to see like what schools teach certain students, because I have certain friends that are, I think they're in a program called JTED, and they started like working like real jobs at 16 just to start learning, how to like save, and they were actually making money. I think JTED, there's all kinds of
like a trade school, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. So like welding, construction work, automotive. And certain friends that started that like sophomore year of high school.
Oh my!
So I saw with that Walden Grove. I know we have good resources, but it'd be nice to see like a lot more, just financial teachings and just like real world teachings for students, But I mean, I'm sure like private schools and stuff, they do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, most schools, give us the regular or basic curriculum, about math, science, physics, maybe some engineering classes, government, but don't really talk about like compound interest, investments, how a car loan works, mortgage, that type of financial literacy. Now,
insurance.
Oh yeah,
insurance, all types of insurances.
Oh yeah, especially you. Like you're the one that is always looking, like you were mentioning, about your
health insurance is a big one. Yeah, unfortunately, but I forget or Axis, right? I think it's called Axis. I've thought about eventually because I had a friend Dorian who. He has his own construction company, but he has to have his own insurance, So I think he has it through Axis. But then eventually, if you start making, like, what's sad, like, you start making a certain amount of money, too much to them, they'll drop you off because you're making it's ridiculous, man. But it's all right.
Oh yeah. Hey, maybe we can bring your friend, the one with the company, to the
Dorian. Yeah, I'll try to get Dorian. He's big time, bro. He has a 2-time or 1-time, but he's defended it twice. He's the 145 world champ for UWCMX. I tell everyone, it's the UFC of Mexico. It's a big organization in Mexico. It's pretty cool seeing him in like Nogales and stuff. I've been with him to Mexico a couple times for my fights, and bro, he's a legit celebrity down there. But he's a celebrity here, bro. Like when we go out to eat and stuff, same with Chavo. We'll be sitting down and people literally walk up to us. I don't mind to bother you, but do you mind if I take a picture with you? Nice to meet you. I'm just like, it's crazy, man.
And I mean, you're already in that stage,
More years, man. I just got to keep working once I sign pro. Yeah, we'll see.
That's good. Do you recall your first interaction with money?
First interaction with money, actually, I think I forgot this one. So let's see, probably just birthdays, yard works. Um, yeah, actually, I do remember my first recollection of money. Fifth birthday, Colorado, Denver, Colorado. It was for my dad's work. We actually were only there for a couple months. We thought we were gonna move there, and then I think the opportunity opened up in Ohio for us to settle over there. But birthday present, got gifted a couple bucks and a card from like friends or relatives in Arizona, and then it was kind of cool because different state. I still remember just like walking down the street with my mom and my sister. I think my dad was at work, and just I don't know exactly what store. I think it was like a gas station, but I actually think it was like a candy shop. Just going in and everything was always paid for me, you know? It was kind of cool that my mom was like, no, this time you can pay for it. It was, I remember being like super excited. I was like, I got this, you know? And just not really understanding. And it's crazy because back then I was willing to trade money for candy. I would have given all my money for candy.
Take it off.
And nowadays it's like complete opposite. It's like, no, can I have that money back? You know, I'll definitely hold off on the candy.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, I think it's like, for a lot of kids when, you go to like a restaurant or a place like that and then, Dad, can I pay? Yeah, here's a card, and you get to swipe it and you feel like you're the one buying it. But now in this time, you're the one giving the money. So.
And nowadays I'm like, no, don't keep my money, man.
Man. Now, what is the best financial advice you have ever received and who gave you that advice?
I think it's got to be from my mom, honestly. I could actually think of multiple things. I mean, actually, I'll actually say my grandpa, rest in peace. But he told me, yeah, I'll carry this with me forever. But it's just, if you're ever gonna loan money, this is to keep friends also, and also without people that you can't trust. But if you're ever gonna loan money, loan only enough that you're willing to lose. That goes with gambling. That goes with I should have mentioned investing first, investing over gambling for sure. But gambling, investing, everything. Only put out enough money that you're willing to lose. Also, there's certain, it's like risk reward. It's like you can also spend more money and you might get more money back. But if you lose it all, you might lose more than you're willing to lose or more than you can afford. So if you're going to loan money to a friend, if you're going to invest it, if you're going to gamble, only put in enough money that you're willing to lose. So that, and also if you loan money, if you loan money, don't exactly expect it back. And when you get it back, be grateful, be glad, and know that you can trust that person, but money doesn't always come back, I got to realize that and just keep moving forward.
You mentioned that you have maybe more than one.
My mom definitely with the Roth IRA. She made me and my sister start it. Just my mom's helped out a lot with just like certain things. If I'm even spending too much, she'll like, hey, you and Lexi, my girlfriend, I've noticed you guys have been eating out a lot, or just anything. You've been going to the movies a little bit, or just be careful with your money. Just always that voice in my ear. Just it's like a self-conscious, just trying to keep me on track. So she's the one that helped me start the Roth IRA, and then. I mean, my dad was the main breadwinner. My mom was a teacher, so she definitely made good money too. But my dad was an engineer, so he made most of the money, and he just tried to instill good work ethics and good. It wasn't always like finances with him, because think about it. When he worked hard, so when he got home, he just wanted to relax and enjoy. But he helped instill good work ethics and decent, like good spending ethics, like don't spend on anything ridiculous or no impulsive purchases. And he would always he loved his vacations, he loved Rocky Point. So he would always save up for the vacations, but he would always make sure and tell me, you want your emergency fund, you want your saving fund for the future. That's not dedicated for anything specifically. It's just dedicated to, take care of you once you retire, hopefully. And then also he would always have his vacation funds, He was real smart. And then actually, he also instilled the envelop system with me. He mentioned the envelop system to me, which, of course, I didn't listen to when he told me, which is funny. And then my teacher in junior year of high school, Walden Grove, the envelope system it was brought back to me. And then that's when I was like, oh, this is a great idea. It's funny because I remember I went home and told him about it, and he's like, I told you about that when you were little.
So do you still use it to this day?
Every day, bro.
Tell us how you use it.
So yeah, my envelope system. So I have my savings account, my checkings account, my savings. I mean, I'll have more than this, but I remember with the financial class, it was always like, try to always have, it's like $500 put away somewhere that you can, for, you know, anything happens. You go to the hospital, emergency vacation, just anything, you know. And then your savings account, so that's 500 separate, just an emergency fund. Then your savings account, your checkings where you spend from, and then envelope system. Because honestly, I'd say I have ADHD. The way that my brain works is like, I look at my bank account, I see the money. The way that my brain sees it is that's spendable money. So I've realized that, and then over the years, it's like if I don't see the money, I don't have it, right? If I see the money, oh, I have it, I can spend it. So my savings account, that's spendable money. That's money that I can afford to use, right? $500, that's untouched. That's emergency fund. And then my envelope system, it's untouchable. I write a goal on it. Some of them I'll write like a date when that goal needs to be met by. Others, there's no date. It's just when the goal's met, that's when the money can be spent or still saved. But I can't take any money out of the envelope once I start putting money in until the goal's met. And that's stuff like, I'll have ones for car upgrades, ones for car like necessities. So a light goes out, battery goes out, anything needs to be replaced. Then I have future fights, future vacations. I have just one for future savings. That's more like retirement fund. There's like 25 different envelopes in there. One's for, my girlfriend loves concerts. So one's for concerts, because whenever she like brings up a concert, I'm like, this sounds too expensive. Like, no, but if I have the money saved up, then it's like, all right, yeah, we can do that. So envelope system has been my best friend over the years, because if I don't see it, I don't have it. If I see it, I'll spend it.
Wow. That's a really good like system, you know, that you have.
And it's also nice, like it feels nice, you know, you look on your phone in the bank, you just see a number, but like it's nice to like have the cash. Also, tinfoil hatter comment, if the banks ever pull our money and don't accept us to take any more money out, I have the cash, you know, emergency funds. Rather, like, I think it's always good to have cash at home in a safe, maybe buried in your backyard somewhere, just wherever, but like accessible to you. Because if the end of the world ever comes and the banks decide they don't want to give us our money and it's our virtual currency, like everyone thinks that fiat cash is like, oh, we can take the money out. But if you go to the bank, I think you can max out, only take out, it's like 20 grand tops, and that's certain banks, and some will cut you off at certain limits. And you can't, like most banks, you can't go to the bank and take out just your entire fund, you know, because they don't even have that money accessible at the time. So, and yes, but that's a tinfoil hat economy.
But that's great, you know. And I mean, we did have another person tell us that they actually have a safe in their house, and that's where they put their money, because they never know, you know.
Yeah.
You know, might have their savings or their checkings, but just something in there in the event that something happens.
Yeah, just in case. Zombie apocalypse.
Oh man, all those were great. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, what is the worst financial advice you have ever received?
Worst financial advice? I think that's got to be one of my best friends. I won't say his name, but his parents are good with money also, and he's definitely good with money too. But it took him a little bit longer, and the way that he would save was always different, because it was kind of like the envelope system, but he was saving towards something. And growing up, we used to lifeguard together, so we both had money accessible starting at like 16 years old. That's when I started the Roth IRA. That's when I started lifeguarding, which was pretty nice because that's a young age to start making money. But I would save, and I would always tell him about like, oh, like my mom says I have to have 500 in my savings no matter what, like, or else I'm literally in trouble. It's like, what are you saving for? Like, what are you gonna buy with that $500? And I'm like, no, that's just savings, bro. Like, there's nothing it's dedicated to. It's just an emergency fund. He's like, well, that's weird. What do you mean, man? He's like, well, I'm saving right now, but for example, I'm saving for, I think it was like an iPod Touch. He's like, I'm saving, and then the next time I'll be saving for like a dirt bike, and next I'll be saving for a new bed. And I'm like, So you only like say otherwise you're just spending like crazy. He's like, well, yeah, bro. What else am I gonna do with my money? But we were only kids at that time, and honestly, now he's an officer in the military, and he's well off financially, able to. He's financially free. So I'm proud of him, and he just came a long way. You know.
Definitely. And maybe, he's now still doing that, but also has the savings.
Yeah, he's met. Or dude, he does spend like crazy. He loves the casino. He likes to buy jet skis and ATVs and good like he bought himself a Toyota Tacoma. He buys himself some nice toys that he can afford. But he also mentioned to me he saves for retirement, and he'll be taken care of. He's doing 20 years in the military, so he'll have a retirement fund,
Definitely will be way off once he retires.
and he'll have insurance for the rest of his life.
I really like how you keep bringing the insurance. Like for you, that is something that
It's a big thing.
not a lot of us think about it, but for you, it has come like a second nature. You're always analyzing that.
Unfortunately, but it's like number one for me. And then I mean, there's just certain things with mixed martial arts, and I'm an adrenaline junkie, man. So I don't tend to get hurt much, but there's been certain times where like I get stitched up, or just certain things got to get patched up. Or example, my girlfriend, she has a peanut allergy. Yeah, we had to experience that one time during our relationship, but that's like a $3,000. It was ambulance fee and everything with her insurance. I think it was $3,000 that I helped her out, but actually she took care mostly on her own, and it's tough, man. So you just gotta be careful, but that's what the emergency fund is for, and insurance definitely helps, because without that, the emergency fund will be drained completely, But with it, I think with her insurance, so it was still about $3,000, because we made the biggest mistake. Well, we had to let them, but the ambulance ride is what gets you, man. Yeah. But if you could get them to the hospital and skip the ambulance ride, that's the way to go.
You're like, I'll give her the ride. Don't worry, guys.
Should have, man. We didn't have the EpiPen with them, so we had to let them. That's $500 right there. I think it is $500. Yeah. She's alive, yo. That's all that matters.
Definitely, yeah. It's always, most important to do that.
Correct.
Now, let's touch up more about on finance. What is the best financial decision that you have ever made?
The best financial decision I ever made. I think that's got to be the Roth IRA, but let me think a little bit more into that. Cryptocurrency, starting crypto like 2019, but also it's also regret. I wish I would have started. I saw a movie. I think the first time I heard about Bitcoin was when I saw the movie. It was called Dope, and they talked about Bitcoin in it. But that, I may be wrong, but I think that was like 2014 or 13, like when around the bull rush, and I just wish I would have started before the first bull run in Bitcoin, because I do know some people that made big with Bitcoin, and same with like SHIB?
Shiba, yeah.
Or Shiba. It's like there's some people that made big and some people that made not. I have a friend, bro. I'm not jealous of him at all, but literally I'm like, because got him into cryptocurrency. Which, I mean, he got himself into cryptocurrency. He reached out to me, but he always heard me talking about it. This is probably like 2016, 2017. Got him interested in it. He asked me to help him like get started completely. I think I even gave him like 20. I was like, bro, I'll give you $20 if you just start it. Because at that time, like, there was a certain point where they weren't exactly like I don't know if I should exactly say it on this, but I will. They weren't taxing on cryptocurrency. You weren't having to come up with the tax form at the end of the year for the first like 3 years that I did it. Eventually, I had to pay it all back once they started collecting tax forms for cryptocurrency, and that was like 2021. But dude, it was all profit at one point, and that was nice, because like between I worked for the city, or for Rancho Salvita, construction and maintenance for them. And then in between, I went to the fire academy, so I didn't have a job for a certain amount of time. I was only taking profit from cryptocurrency, which was real nice. Also, I didn't make that much, and I was living with my mom, didn't have rent at the time.
Good.
But it was nice, and got him into it. He got into SHIB. He made, I think it was like 22K off SHIB. He had heard something, saw like a cool video on Instagram or something and just decided to put like 5K into Shiba, and yeah, he struggled. I was very happy for him though.
Would you consider living with your mom also like a good investment or like a good financial decision in a way?
To be honest, I would say definitely, because I'm able to save, and honestly, just living under the same household as her, she's able to just give me and my girlfriend good financial advice. You know, whether we're making mistakes or making good decisions, she's just able to help reinforce it. And then I didn't mean to get on the tangent. Financial or best financial decision, I'd say it was honestly the best one was investing in myself, because I always just like thought, you know, I had to go to school and I had to just get a regular job like everyone else, which I mean, I'm doing right now. But I'd say choosing mixed martial arts and choosing to go become an amateur fighter and to go pro, I think that's the best decision I ever made. Because I mean, I've made more money than I've lost off of it. I haven't really lost any money off of it, but I've made decent money off it. And I feel like I'm living my dream. I'm living my passion. So I'd say that's the best financial decision.
Definitely always, investing in yourself is like the best thing that you can do. And now in your case, I mean, we see it, we see a bunch of UFC fighters. How much does it really cost to become one? I mean, what are the expenses, because right now that you're mentioning insurance, that must be a big one. But at the same time, like the food, the training, I mean, maybe there are like a couple of supplements that you have to take, vitamins.
More than a couple.
Yeah, walk us through that.
So when I started wrestling in high school, my parents they invested in me. They wanted me to be as good at it as I was willing to be. Honestly, I think they would have been willing to go broke in making me as good of a wrestler as possible. And same with my sister when she played soccer. They loved sports for us. I'm not saying like I didn't have all the nicest equipment and stuff like that, but we traveled. Like we went to Las Vegas before, went to California before, Texas before, New Mexico before. Because, I mean, my dad wanted me to be good at baseball, and I think he'd rather me do baseball. And we traveled for that too. I played on a couple of club teams when I was younger, and that was his main sport. He also wrestled in high school, but he was the captain of the baseball team. But he realized that wrestling was my thing. And so it was really awesome that my parents, like when I started out, they were willing to just do whatever it took to just give me and my sister the resources to be the best athletes that we possibly could. And so when I started out, it was free for me. They probably put, honestly, thousands of dollars into it, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful, and that they're willing to do that, because I think it did pay off. I mean, my dad's not here anymore, but my mom, she will. Like, she's, in my opinion, like, outside of doing this and outside of this, I have my sponsorships, but she's my number one sponsorship through it all. Because it's funny, because she never asks for anything back. I try to give her as much back as I possibly can, but she never asks for anything back, and she's willing to just do anything she can. Like, I'll be cutting weight the morning or the day before my fight. I'll be cutting weight, like finish cutting weight at the gym, finish all the sparring rounds, all the training rounds, come home. I have a home sauna. It's a little pocket sauna, they call it. It's just a little one that fits in a room. And I'll be sitting in there just dying, bro. Just, she'll come in, and then it's nice because her and my girlfriend, they'll both come in and they'll both just be like, what do you need us to do? And then it's just nice because they're like my freaking soldiers, I'll just be like, Mom, can you please just give me all the nutrients I need? She's also like a dietitian. She took a whole course for herself, but it feels like she did it for me too, because whole course on nutrition, so that when the time comes for my weight cuts, she's able to just right there be in my ear. No, don't eat that. No, don't eat that. Eat this, eat this. She'll help me set up my meals and stuff, meal prep and stuff for the weeks, because it's difficult, because you have to calorie count, you have to water load, and it's interesting, and it wouldn't be the sport without it, but she's helped a lot with that. And my bad for the tangent again. So finances. My mom's helped me out a lot, but when it comes to what I've spent on it, I try to come up with a rough estimate since I started, and this is like 18, 19 years old. This isn't what I've made also, and I probably didn't spend anything in wrestling high school and middle school, to be honest with you, because my parents took care of me very well. But 18 to now, what I've spent on it is probably about like close to 10 G's, 10 grand. Yeah, but that's over like 10 years. Or no, not 10 years. It's like 7 years. But that's with travel, That's because I'm flying to different places. Now they pay for my flights. Now they pay for my hotel. But when I first started, like amateur boxing, no, man, gas money, I'd have to drive to the tournaments. I'd have to fly to the tournaments. My brother usually would, I call my brother, he's my older cousin. He was my coach. So he would drive with me. So usually like gas he would cover. But whether we're flying or driving or staying at a hotel, most of the time, like for amateur in boxing, you have to pay to fight. So it's crazy. But now I'm making money off my fights, and it's a lot better. Supplements, I'm paying roughly about. It depends because every supplement the serving size is different. But let's say in a 3-month range, I'm gonna try to list everything. Protein, I take creatine, BCAAs, EAAs. Those are base for protein synthesis. I take fish oil. I take electrolyte mix. So I used to take base electrolytes. So I would take sodium by itself, which would be like salt, potassium, a potassium supplement by itself, magnesium by itself, calcium by itself, and then chloride. Also, that's like an electrolyte. That's what's in electrolytes. But now I take electrolyte mix. So that's nice because it's by itself. Take ashwagandha. And then those are, I think just as supplements. I think I take fish oil.
Yeah.
Besides that, I take beta-alanine, and then all the amino acids that I could list, but that's just BCAAs, EAs I already mentioned. And then besides that, I've been drinking, it's called a mushroom coffee. So it's just like lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, and then caffeine. But all of that together in about 3 months, it can run me about $200 to $300. But with sponsorships, I'm sponsored by a company called Gains in Bulk. Shout out. They help me out with the omegas, the creatine, the protein. So that's nice. And then, let's see, that's most of the supplements. I might be missing a couple, but with that's supplements and then food me and my mom buy from a farm in Sahuarita. And that's about $250 it's about every month that we get like we get, I think it's about 5 to 6 pounds of meat, and that's poultry, and that's also red meat. And we just try to eat as clean as possible. I'm not always super strict with what I eat, but like when I'm in a fight camp, and I try to always be in a fight camp, so it's like 5 months out from a fight or 4 months out from a fight, eating pretty healthy. And so we try to know exactly what we're eating, eat organic and organically raised, grass-fed raised cows and chickens and all that good stuff. Trying to start liking fish. I don't really eat fish too much, but I know it's good for you, so I've been eating a little bit more lately.
And that's amazing. Like you're always looking to improve yourself. You're always trying to recover. You always have this routine to train, fight, recover, sleep, pretty much. You know, like it's a cycle.
Oh, yeah. The recovery is, growing up, I wasn't too focused on recovery, but now I finally am. Because as I get older, I'm like starting to feel the pains and stuff. So stretching a lot more, and ice baths and saunas and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's go, rest, recover. It's literally just rest, recover, repeat, you know?
So you're about to sign pretty much pro in a couple of months, you're saying?
I'll have about 2 to 3 more fights, and then I'll get signed pro. So hopefully it'll be in the range of 6 months. I could get three fights in 6 months. I should be able to. But I wasn't gonna, I don't, so usually I talk about my fights always. Usually I'll go on Instagram and like promote my fights. And then I kind of decided to take a different approach. I used to do like a lot of interviews for it and stuff like that. But I wanted to take like a little bit more of a humble approach, to be honest, of just like not posting so much about it. And, you know, when I win, I'll post like a picture or a video of the win. But I would just like promote my fights like a lot. And I'm not a promoter. That's a promoter's job, to be honest with you. I'm the fighter. And when you promote your fights, it's fun, it's exciting, but it creates anxiety, it creates stress. You're just inviting more people and stuff, which is cool, but I'm focused on winning. I'm focused on competing in the fight. So I wasn't going to release this, but I have a fight coming up November 4th. I'm in the fight camp right now, but my opponent just dropped out this morning. Just got information that my opponent just dropped out. So that happens a lot. So I would like to fight 3 to 5 times per year. but with opponents dropping out, it's difficult sometimes. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll still fight. The promoter Jen Richardson said for that fight, she's gonna do everything she can to still get me a fight. It's also difficult because I have a game plan for that opponent. And when the opponent drops out, I have to come up, or my coach and I had to come up with a completely new game plan, which it's all good, man. You roll with the punches.
Once you sign, how much, if you're allowed to tell us, how much do you think you're going to be getting, or what will be like your sweet spot?
I won't say exactly who. This is exactly what they made on their pro debut, but I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to release their information. But he made. I'm following his tracks, like completely following his tracks. So it's looking like it'll be somewhere along these lines. But he got I think a 3 to 5 contract deal with Combate Global, 70 grand. But that's to start as a pro debut. So 70 grand isn't for the first fight. It's a 3 to 5 fight deal. It's like pretty much like a 1.5 year contract that he gets 70 grand whether he fights or not. And that's whether his opponents pull out or not. He's still making that money. So it's about, I think right now it's something looking like 15 grand to fight. And that's just to start out. In my opinion, most MMA fighters that I know, that's not what they start out as pros. Most of them start out like 1,000 win or 1,000 show, maybe walk away with 3,000 if you win. Some maybe start out a little bit more than that, but this guy, he's excelling for greatness, So hopefully I'm trying to just like follow his path because that'd be nice, bro. 15,000 to show. And then I think if you win, after you get like 3 to 5 on top of that. And this isn't the UFC, so you can rep sponsorships. So you'll be walking away with some good money.
You can change to stack sponsors.
Yeah, sponsors, in all honesty, man, sponsors is where the real money comes in. Because, like, when you make money to fight, that's like your financial stability. That's the money that you're going to make. But, like, sponsorships are unlimited. If you when it comes to sponsorships, it's a good idea to obtain a lawyer. Because you got to read between the fine line, and a lot of people will try to like get full ownership of their fighters. A lot of people will be like, we'll give you this amount of money or this percentage of whatever brand ambassador if you're making income off like certain people using discount codes or just whatever you're using. A lot of people will like make it like they'll juice it up, Oh, what? I'm getting free gifts every month, and I'm doing this and all that, and you're putting me on your Instagram page and this and that. But they want like 5% of like what you're making, or they want 10% or 15%, or some people go for 50, 100%. So you gotta be really careful, read between the fine print and just make sure that it's worth it, So I'm very, very picky with what sponsorships are making deals with. I also have a rule right now that I do individual sponsorships, so it's just one fight deals. Because what I would do with a lot of people is like, well, sponsorships is like, oh, you're my sponsor. And then just like over a period of time, like say that they're my sponsor and only get like small amounts of money. But like when I was younger, like I just thought it was cool to be able to say I had sponsorships, but like I wasn't really getting much from them. And then eventually I started to realize you have to, make compromises and deals. And like when companies know that they're working with kids, a lot of times they'll take advantage. Once I got older, I just make sure I'm not getting taken advantage of. So I just do single fight deal with sponsorship. So it's just, I'll put you on my shorts, I'll put you on my shirt, I'll put you on my Instagram or a banner one time, and it's $500. Or if it's a big logo, it's 1,000 or whatever it is, and then that's it. If next fight you want to do it again, let me know. We'll talk business. But like when you don't make contracts and you're just like, oh, they're my sponsor, they're getting your advertisement, they're getting promoted from you over and over, and you're putting them on your Instagram, and you're shouting them out, but you're not getting anything from them, so you gotta make sure it's even. Not difficult.
Now, maybe would you consider any of those like your worst financial decision within the MMA world?
Almost. I actually didn't end up doing it because my mom decided that it was not the right decision. But I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but it was a family member, lots of family members that it's nice to see like who's the real ones and who's not, but it's also difficult sometimes because like I'm still amateur. Like I haven't even made it or anything. Maybe it might look like I'm on the path to success for mixed martial arts, and I would like to believe that I'm definitely going to make it there, but I'm still just an amateur, and I have certain family members that like, like maybe wouldn't reach out, and then all of a sudden they're like, nowadays they're like, hey, like I see you, like what's up, bro, like, and so it's just tricky because I just don't know exactly who's who sometimes, but the ones that have been around from the beginning, I know those are the real ones. Anyways, there was a family member that came around when MMA started blowing up for me, and I mean it's fine, but they're very uh, they're an entrepreneur, let's just say. They're very educated when it comes to business. And they wanted to sign a contract with me saying, we're going to give you X amount of money, which was a large sum amount of money for me at the time. It was $5,000. And they're like, we're going to give you $5,000. We want you to not work. We want you to only focus on MMA. We're going to try to fund you for however much you need to just pay rent to your mom and just do whatever you need. And then when you make it to the UFC, you owe us 10%. It was there. I forget exactly what it was. 5% or 5,000 or 5% of how much I was gonna get at the time, and then they wanted 10% of whatever I was making. So you make it to the UFC, you walk away with 24 grand, right?
They were taking a cut.
Exactly. But that's every fight. That's what the contract was every fight. It would have been, or 10% of every single fight. It wasn't 10% of the first purse. Honestly, I would have been fine with that. That could have paid for itself. I would have just paid the $5,000 back, or maybe even $6,000 back or $7,000 back. But it was, they wanted to just keep making 10%. To me, when they told me that, I was like, 10%? That's nothing. Heck yeah. Luckily, I didn't sign the dotted lines, because then I went home and talked to my mom, and she's like, wait a minute, you're making $1,000, 10% is not so much, but you're making $1 million, right?
It's a whole lot.
So anyways, I just figured out that you just gotta be careful. And they weren't trying to screw me over. They're just trying to set themselves up, and that's what humans do. You just try to set yourselves up. And to be honest, in an alternate universe, I probably made that same proposition to him, so it's just human beings do what they can to take care of themselves, and I can't hate them for it. Like my family, I still love them, but I'm gonna take care of mine, and mine is my girl, mine is my mom, my sister, and my grandma. Besides that, like I'll try to help out as much as I can, but also my parents, they helped out a family member in the past. They gave that family member $10,000. It was right when my dad started working right then, so like he had enough. They didn't have enough to give that family member that money, but it was a tia. She reached out to my grandpa, or I don't know why I said grandpa, reached out to my dad, asked him for certain money. I don't even know if she asked for that amount, but that was the amount that he was able to afford. But that's when he learned you can't lend money that you can't afford to lose. They couldn't afford to lose that. And I learned from there that, help out family members, but also, you got to just take care of your immediate. And I would like to have generational wealth someday so I can help out my whole family, but my immediate family comes first, and then I want to take care of them, eventually just live comfortably. And then if I have enough to like help out the extended family and the community, then heck yeah, bro. Like my favorite boxer of all time, Roberto Duran. He's from Panama, and bro, he gave wealth to the whole country. But it's because he made millions, So once I make my millions through mixed martial arts, I'll definitely get back to all of Arizona if I can.
Yeah, and that's a good thing that we actually were able to reach out to you, before you sign. Otherwise, our chances.
Well, we're friends, bro. So
thank you.
It's not like that,
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I'm definitely picky with. Right now, I told myself I made a deal with myself that I'm not gonna do mixed martial arts interviews, because those you don't get a layout of anything. It's just you go, you're blindsided. It's energetic. It's a lot of emotion, because they want to build the fan base and stuff and build the fights, but it's also like very stressful. They're asking you what you're gonna do, how you're gonna predict your fight. You also want to make sure you're not accidentally giving your opponent the game plan, you know. And this was just two friends having a conversation about finances. And then, I mean, you ask some stuff about mixed martial arts. I could talk about it for days, so I have no problem. But we're not talking about any stressful stuff or a fight coming up or anything like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We appreciate, everything that you've been sharing. I think it has a lot of value.
And I'm blessed to be honest, too, because when your channel blows up and we're both at the top of the mountain, then we'll have another interview and be like, with our Rolexes or whatever, we'll be like, remember that conversation we had? But I'm just kidding. I probably would never buy a Rolex unless it was like an actual investment.
Now, let's see, outside of the MMA world, is there something you would consider like the worst financial decision? Meaning like, maybe purchasing like a car, or like you said, like have you lent money to somebody that you didn't get it back, or like purchasing an item that was too expensive that you're like, oh, why did I do this?
Let me think. I got really into gold for a little while, right out of high school. I've never really been like too money driven, and then like when it comes to materialism, I don't think I have. When it comes to like MMA, I want to look like decked out, have the nicest equipment, but like when it comes to like real world stuff like jewelry and all that, I haven't been too driven towards that. But because I feel like that could be almost like it's a bad habit that starts building, and I have lots of friends that are into like sports cars and stuff like that. And so, I mean, I'm happy with my Toyota RAV4 that I drive. It's a nice car, and I realize it's a nice car. But I also have friends that drive like BMWs and stuff like that. So parts of me is like, oh man, that'd be nice to have a sports car. I'll see friends with like real expensive clothing and be like, oh, it'd be nice to have that. And then again, I try not to, but yeah, right out of high school, I don't know exactly why. It was like my 50 Cent era. I was like obsessed with 50 Cent, all his gold chains and stuff. And so like this is a sterling silver. This is like probably like $20, But yeah, I have a couple of gold necklaces that might have ran me like nothing crazy, but like $400 and stuff like that. And wish I would have held back on that. And then I have a funny story. I got a text from my sister on my watch while I was at work. It was maybe about a year or two after my dad passed. So I took it as an opportunity to try to prove that I was the man. I'm the man of the house now. I was like trying to take care of my sister and my mom. This is also a good learning lesson, just to not do anything impulsively, especially when it came to finances. But I get a text from my sister on Venmo. She's saying, Gabriel, I didn't realize it was on Venmo, by the way. It was just, I just saw the words. I didn't see Venmo or anything. I thought it was just a text. Gabriel, I'm in line right now. Mom sent me to the store to pick up a couple things. Do you mind just sending me the money? I promise as soon as I get to, she said, I think her wallet was in the car. She said, as soon as I get to the car, I'll send you the money back. I don't know what I was thinking. I just, literally in my head, I'm like, here's a time to prove that like I'm a good brother and I can take care of my family when I need to, So I jumped on it, bro. Got my phone out, went to Venmo, set, and it was so weird because like the account, they copied my sister's like profile picture and then the name, and it was changed like maybe a space or a period. So it looked all the same. Boom, send $400, go on break, call my sister. Hey, did you get the money? Can you send me it back when you get the chance? She's like, what are you talking about? So, I mean, I made some bad financial decisions throughout my life, but I'd say just like $400, just like that, There's been certain times, I guess, when I go gambling with my friends and stuff, but no, I try not to ever put in more than like $50. I don't really gamble much. I honestly just like watching people gamble.
How would you describe your relationship with money?
Definitely a love or hate relationship with money. I love it because I love to spend it. I also love to save it. I hate it because I hate to spend it. And yeah, it's a love-hate relationship just because I realize that saving is best, but I like living in the moment too. And not trying to get like sad or emotional or anything like that, but my dad was really good at saving. And because of that, he took care of us even after his life was over, But he saved a lot of money for his retirement, and he didn't get to spend the money when you're retired. So it's a good life lesson to learn is, in my opinion, in all honesty, I tell people, for me, time over money. Now I realize how it works. And money does come first because you don't get time unless you have money. But then again, I'm not exactly super money hungry. And right now I am financially free because we live with my mom. I pay rent and I pay for my insurance and all that good stuff. But with Costco, I have money left over to save. And as long as I'm able to save, have my emergency fund, have my envelope system, and me and my girlfriend like to go on certain vacations or go just to Phoenix for a weekend, concerts. And then I do have, so for MMA fights, I make money, so I'm not losing any money when I go for those. But for jiu-jitsu tournaments, I do, like, I'll have to take time off of work. I'll have to gas money, drive up there, hotel, and usually you pay to compete. So for those, I have to save also. So in my opinion, for me, because I learned from my dad, time comes before money. Time to spend with your family, time to spend with your friends, time to just focus on yourself, you know, and then money too, of course. But that's my relationship with money is I'm comfortable, but I'm also uncomfortable because I'm comfortable. You know, it's like I've kind of plateaued a little bit because it's like I'm comfortable, I'm financially free, but it's like I'm not well off, you know. So eventually, like me and my girl will move out, and then that I'll start having it'll eventually be money over time for a little bit. And I understand that, you know, in your young years, you have to focus on building the wealth so that when you're older, you have more time, you know. But you just have to make sure that you get to spend it while you're here on this earth, you know.
Man, that's definitely a big lesson.
But honestly, he got a Rocky Point trip every year and other little trips between that and work trips on top of that. So he did get to enjoy his wealth, and little did he know he was taking care of us even into the next life. So it's beautiful, man. He was a good father.
So I guess that, you know, my follow-up question is always, if you're comfortable with your current financial situation, but like you mentioned, you are, however, you want maybe to make it to the next level.
Yeah, so I think that's the exact answer is I am comfortable. And so to answer it exactly, no, I'm not comfortable because I realize that, like, because I'm comfortable, like if you get comfortable, sometimes you get complacent. You might get stuck in that point in your life. And I see certain people like that, you know, and I don't ever want to use my mom for anything. You know, I try to help her out as much as I can. And I'm living there for multiple reasons, you know. One, I'm living there, yes, because she helps, or she doesn't give us a rent that's too expensive that me and Lexi are broke after paying rent, you know. So we're able to be financially comfortable still. But on top of that, I'm still very protective over my mom. So luckily, I have a wonderful girlfriend that loves my mom, and my mom and my girlfriend get along very well. And so I'm able to still be under the same roof as my mom, so I could just make sure she's safe, you know. But I got her a gun, and she's got some tough dogs. So I do know when I move out, you know, I've been training her with handling the gun, you know, and training the dogs and stuff. And when me and Lexi do move out, we won't move far. She'll be taken care of very well. She'll be all right.
That's great, man. Love that answer. Now, if you could go back in time and change one financial decision, which one would it be and why?
I think that's a very easy one. I'll just go back and just when I had no bills whatsoever, which I'm still financially comfortable. I don't have too many bills like a mortgage bill or anything like that, but 401k, Roth IRA, I would have just, instead of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put $50 and I'm gonna keep, like, let's say I made like $350 for like 1 or 2 weeks of lifeguarding, right? Put like $50 in it, you know, and then I keep the 300, you know, and who knows what I spent on McDonald's, video games. I don't know what I spent on stupid stuff back then. I wish I could have gone and every paycheck put 300 into my Roth IRA and kept $50, you know? So just put more money in that. And honestly, with my kids, I'll just instill that in them. I'll just help them realize, like, maybe like when they're living under my roof without rent, I'll make them like keep 40% of their paychecks and put 60% of the paychecks into Roth IRA. and that might be like a rule while they're living under my house or under my roof. And just I want to set my kids up to be well off, and that's even if like not is when I make it in the UFC and when I make millions off of professional mixed martial arts. I don't want my kids to grow up privileged or grow up snobby or anything like that. So they're not gonna like I'm not gonna be gifting them BMWs and stuff like that like some parents do. They're gonna grow up like I did, where they have to like I grew up well off, you know. I grew up blessed. But my dad didn't just buy me everything and anything. He made us work for our money. He made us, you know, like he grew up poor, like very poor, and he had to work for it. So like when he got the job at Raytheon, and then he realized like when we did a ranch, and he realized that like he always wanted to make sure that we didn't become ungrateful for what we were just, you know, we didn't do anything to even get that the blessings, you know. Just he worked for the money, so he wanted to make sure that we held up our end of the deal, you know, held up our weight, you know. So it was just certain stuff, just yard work to keep our room clean, or just doing errands with him, or just little stuff like that. But he tried to teach us just work ethics, just good work ethics. Whatever you do, just do it the best to your ability.
Well, now we're going to go in our first section called Would You Rather. What you're going to do is just pull out a paper. You'll show the number to the camera. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. So whenever you're ready.
Sounds cool. Let's see. 19.
Would you rather donate your time or donate your money?
Oh, money. I know this is the Moneymalistic podcast, but honestly, money. Because where I've learned, I mean, while you're alive, time keeps coming as well. But if you're a hard worker, there's always ways to make money. You know, like I mentioned, my friend Marco, you'll do what you gotta do to make money. You know, whether it's mowing the lawn, lemonade stand, or starting your own business. You know, which is kind of like a lemonade stand. But I would rather donate my money because I don't want to ever give my time back. Because your time you can spend with family, you can spend focusing on yourself or on God or just whatever you need to do, you know, on your craft.
I like that. I like how you really know that for you, money is in a second term. Your time is the first one. So,
yeah, yes, it is. But I do realize that to get time, you have to have money. So it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword. You just have to work with it.
Let's go over the second one then.
Number 8.
Ocho. Would you rather stay in your current job forever or change careers completely every year?
Change careers completely every year.
Really? So you would be willing to change your MMA for something else?
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of Costco.
Oh, okay. On that one, yeah.
I was thinking Costco. Costco, I don't want to. I see a lot of people getting complacent and stagnant, and like they just, you know, there's those milestones. You reach 10 years, you get a certain thing. You reach 20 years, you get a certain thing. You know, so a lot of people end up like, you know, oh, this is a summer job. Well, I'm gonna be here for 1 year. 20 years later, you know. So, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You can definitely build a career off of Costco, but that's not my intentions. And MMA is, I've decided, you know, I'll tell people the only other job for me besides MMA is I'll need to be an astronaut. If I'm not an MMA fighter, I have to be in space. Otherwise, send me to the Amazon jungle. There's no other place on this earth that I'd rather be than a cage fighting. So, you know, and that's also something I enjoy is I would like to be like a conservationist. I mean, there's a guy named Paul Rosalie that I listen to his podcast a lot, and he's a conservationist in Amazon, in the Amazon jungle. He just does everything to conserve it. They call them they call their group the jungle keepers, non-violent, but they just do everything they can to protect. And there's loggers that'll chop down the forests and just for to mine it for gold and stuff. And instead of starting wars with those loggers and those bandits, or trying to get them arrested because there's no cops out in the Amazon jungle, they go to them and try to build relationships with them and give them jobs. All they're doing is they're trying to make money. So instead of trying to get them to be bad people, they're like, hey, we'll pay you to take care of the force with us. And I've been listening to his podcast a little bit. He was on Joe Rogan recently. And I realized if I wasn't fighting, that's the only other thing that I could do. I'd have to be in the wilderness somewhere.
Thanks.
And that's what I like doing on my free time. Me and my girlfriend like going camping and stuff. So, well, when it's time to save and it's time to not go to the city to go spend money on drinks and movies or food, that's our favorite thing to do. And that's honestly my favorite thing to do is, besides fighting, is just we go camping. We call it glamping. We take my SUV out, take our dogs out with us, and go out to like Madera Canyon, Mount Lemon, and then we'll sleep in the car. And then, but I actually told her I want to go backpacking soon, so we'll park in the parking lot, hike up the mountain with backpacks, and then pitch a tent, sleep there. Because, you know, every time I go to nature, I feel so drawn to it. And I feel so rejuvenated every time I go. So that's why I have a garden. It's like my little piece of nature in the city.
Nice. Let's go with the third one then.
Got it. 16.
16. Would you rather get $10,000 in cash today or $10,000 in an investment account that tracks the S&P 500?
Oh, I mean, so like mature side of me wants to say there are 10,000 that tracks the S&P 500, but also if you get to 10,000, you can put 7,000 in the S&P 500, and then you can keep 2,000, do what you got to do with that. I think honestly, because the type of person I am, I'll take the second option, put the 10,000 in the S&P 500, because I'd probably end up spending way more of that 10,000 if I was given the cash.
Unless you found an envelope.
Correct. Honestly, if I put an envelope, I don't know, for some reason, like I guess I built a habit over the years since high school. I put in the envelope, it's like, it's not mine anymore. It's that envelope's, and it's not mine until I reach that goal. So I could do that too, but you put that money in the S&P 500, put 9,000 or put 9,500 S&P 500, take 500, hire a financial advisor from Fidelity and let them take care of it and try to get some dividends from that for the next couple of years. And just not even look at it, and just from the profit, see if you can make certain money, certain amount, some passive income, you know?
I mean, there isn't a right or wrong answer. I actually like the way you portray this, you know, like take the S&P 500. However, you can also do the 10, but you know, take a portion of that. So I like what you enjoy.
But with my impulsivity, I'd have to go with the second option, just so that it's not exactly accessible to me. Because, man, there's so many nice things. You know, like, I mean, you got like a real nice camera, you're like, it'd be nice to have two nice cameras. Yeah, because it would be. It's just, yeah. These being a human being, man, it's like, so, because my dogs, man, they're like, you know how I was like, I would have given all my money for the candy. My dogs would like for just a tennis ball, you know, they're so it's like, us humans, man, like we're so complex but so simple when it comes down to it.
Number 4.
21.
Would you rather, oh, this is a good one for you, receive your whole pay for the year at once or get paid bi-weekly? So let me rephrase this a little bit better. So let's say that we're going to take your job at Costco, okay? Would you rather get your entire year, you know, whatever you make, after tax, of course, in your account on the first day, or just keep it the way that it is, that you get paid?
The way it is.
Yeah.
I'm impulsive, man. I'll be all right probably after the second year, after making mistakes. You know, I'm used to bi-weekly. I've been trained for that for the last, like, since I've been working, so like 7-8 years. So if that whole thing came at once, like I want to quit my job and just go on a vacation or something, you know? I feel like the way that the human brain works is a little bit easier. Like I don't have the money yet. I'm working for the money I'm going to get in 2 weeks. Rather, if they gave me the money at the beginning of the year, I feel like it'd be hard to go to work every day because I already had that money. But it's just the way my brain is. I'll just have to retrain certain things. I saw you have the book Atomic Habits. I really liked that. I read that book too, and that helps with certain things because you could just build very good habits throughout your life. And just with little things, I would change my habits and then I would adapt. But it might take me a little while. So, like I said, I'm a creature of habit. I like where I'm at. I'm comfortable with where I'm at right now. So that
is one of my favorite books too, by James Clear.
So we have it. the friend that gave me the worst advice, financial advice, he bought me that book. He bought me that book. He bought me Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. He got me into audiobooks. And since then, I've listened to like 100. So, like, he gave me that bad advice, but some of the best advice I've been given is from him. So,
Before we get into that one, what is your favorite book then?
oh, that's a hard one, bro. Oh, dang. Okay. Can I have one fiction, one nonfiction?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Fiction, Rumblefish, S.E. Hinton. All day, every day. I'll say that every time I get asked that question. Nonfiction, right now, I think it's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Number 2 would be Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. And then it's a autobiography by 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. It's called, or no, it's not Get Rich or Die Trying. That's his movie. Oh, I can't remember the title of the book right now.
That's all I got.
50 Cent, it's his only book that he wrote, but it's underneath it, it's a hustler's ambition. It's honestly a good book because it just talks about everything about him. And also there's a book about Mike Tyson that I really love too because it's narrated by Mike Tyson, so it's pretty nice.
You'll have to check those ones out, man. All right.
I'll send you the list too because I got probably like 10 books that I would refer to anybody that have helped me out with my life. But right now, The Power of Now, because I've been really focused on like meditation lately, and The Power of Now helps out with a lot like that because people with ADHD, like, we tend to focus. They say you tend to focus on the present, but really, your ego, you focus on past and future always. And if you always focus on past and future, you can never be focused on now. And there really is power in there. So, yeah.
Last one.
Number 12.
Number 12. Would you rather? This one should be easy for you. I think we all know the answer right away. Would you rather marry someone rich who cheats on you once, or someone with no money who's faithful?
Easy. Second one.
Definitely, yeah. All right. So that one was the simplest one. Now we're going to go over our what do you think section. This one is more about opinions and thoughts on money. And go ahead and grab the bucket again. So same thing, same exercise. You will go ahead and grab 5 pieces of paper, and then I'll give you the questions.
Got it. Do you want me to put the numbers back in since these are different ones?
No, you can just like put it on the side, yeah.
30.
30. So what do you think? What is the most important thing to learn about money? Just one. Like, it's just like, if someone has to learn something about it, this should be it.
That's a tricky one. I'd say the most important thing about money is just, I don't know, because I want to say money isn't everything, but to be honest with you, to build the foundation in life, money is kind of everything to start a foundation. So I think that would be it. Is
Start a foundation.
to start a foundation in life, to get started for anything, you have to build it by saving and being smart with money. So just that simply. Save, be smart with it, don't spend any money impulsively.
Let's go with the second one then.
20.
20. What is the ideal way to acquire a car? Your options are leased, used, or brand new.
I say used, not brand new, because the moment you drive it out the lot, it's already depreciating in value. But at the same time, I do like the idea. Like, I was able to kind of help financially and witness my mom buying her first brand new car ever. She was 45, and it was her first new car that she ever bought, and it was a Toyota RAV4, brand new. It was at her, not 2023, I think it was 2020 or 2021, but it's a beautiful car. And I was so happy for her. And honestly, if you're going to live the way that she does, she only uses it for utility. She drives very carefully, you know, and she's not doing anything reckless. I say get a new car and take care of it, you know, be proud of it. But like for me, to be honest, used cars, because I like taking my cars off-roading, and I like, you know, just a lot of wear and tear on my cars. You know, I travel a lot and stuff, and So I say used. And then it's funny because the friend that gave me the bad advice, his parents, because my parents were always, don't buy new, buy used cars, but don't lease. His parents were always about leasing. It's give or take, because if you really think about it, by the time you buy or you pay the car off, it's already kind of worn and torn. But if you lease, you're never going to exactly own the car. But at the same time, the same amount of time that you would have worn and torn your car to the end of its life, you have a new car every year.
Oh yeah.
So it's just different, you know. But if you crash that car, you have to pay insurance. It's the same difficulty. So my base answer, my bad for the long tangents, used car. I'll probably always go with the used cars, but maybe someday I could buy like a used G-Wagon or a used Range Rover.
You will, man. Absolutely.
Because that's my favorite car, actually, G-Wagon.
Go with the third question then.
14.
14. How can someone save more money?
How can someone save more money? I'd say just, honestly, my best answer would be the envelope system. It's hard when you see the money, you know, you're like, oh, I got it, I can spend it, you know. But if you literally like, if you're a heavy spender and you gotta hide the money from yourself, do it, you know. So I don't exactly hide it from myself. The moment it goes in the envelope, it's gone. It's not mine anymore. It belongs to that envelope. It belongs to that goal. But if you have to hide the money from yourself, or I know certain people that they'll like give their grandma the money because they know their grandma won't spend the money and then she'll save it for them. But you have to create atomic habits. You have to create certain habits, and we're creatures of habit. Over a certain amount of time, like, you'll learn to save. But I mean, better now than later or never, you know?
Let's go with the fourth one then.
11.
11. What are the top 3 financial goals that everyone should have?
Top 3 financial goals. Let's see. Number 1, save. Number 2, don't spend impulsively. And number 3, I'd say build your credit and build it wisely. Only spend credit on things that you can afford, not things that you're going to be paying off for the many years, I'd say. So those would be the first thing that come to mind.
I'm good. Let's go with the last one then.
Last question. Number 9.
Number 9. Should couples share bank accounts or have separate accounts?
Are you considering married or non-married?
Let's say they're married.
Okay. If I could do it exactly how I could, I would set something up like, and this is no offense to my girlfriend because I love her and I do want to share my wealth with her and share her wealth with me. But maybe like a prenup for the first like year, you know, because I feel like a lot of couples, like, they get married and then change their mind in the first year. And then at that point, if you don't have a prenup, you're screwed if you have wealth occurred. But I'd say maybe like a prenup for the first year, and then after that the prenup disappears because then you're good, you know, and then be together forever and then share wealth. But I actually think separate accounts is best, just to see the difference, and also keep track of who makes who or what makes what. Any more questions? Okay.
That was the last one. So finally, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Do you have any final thoughts?
Honestly, just first thing, respect your parents and listen to them. Most parents have good advice, so I feel like a lot of children don't listen to their parents. They listen to other mentors and stuff, but that'd be the number 1. But just save your money and time over money. But when I say that, I'm not meaning I don't care about the money. I'm saying save the money and put it away, you know, and let it build, and then you have more money for time. That's it.
Awesome. Good. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please support the channel by subscribing, commenting, and liking the video. The question of the day is the following. Let me know your opinions, thoughts, comments, and constructive criticism in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next video.